Look, the Australian Prime Minister, Prime Minister Abbott, made a clear commitment by establishing the Joint Agency Coordination Centre to be a single point of contact for families, but also for the general public in relation to being able to understand where the search is at the moment. The JACC also has the task of coordinating all Australian government activities involved in the search as well, so that we have a coordinated approach with Malaysia and China to those activities. Look, not only is the search for MH370 unprecedented, I think the cooperation between countries in relation to this search is also unprecedented. The cooperation that Australia has with Malaysia, but also with China, is fabulous. The resources that Malaysia have committed to this are a great response to the activity that we need to undertake. Gearing up again, I mean, this search has been full on since March. Right. So I can't help but want to say we have at no stage not been looking. I appreciate that from the perspective of us being 7 months in and people saying, so what have you been doing given you haven't found the aircraft? Is obviously the question that's being asked, but we've been doing lots. The initial planning that we had put in place in relation to what would happen if we were able to recover has been there since the early days. This is our opportunity to refine that and be more ready in that regard. But the bathymetric survey work that's been undertaken to map the area has actually been critical to the search. It is enabling now the underwater search equipment to have much more definition in relation to the area that it's moving in, and greater safety as well. Also to understand the terrain that it's working in. It takes a long time to move a piece of equipment that needs to work along 100 metres off the ocean floor. If the terrain moves from, say, 4,500 metres to 4,000 metres, and needing to move that equipment, we need to understand what the terrain looks like to make sure that we're not missing areas of the ocean floor as well when we're getting vision of it. We may never know what those pings were. They've been fully investigated though, and we know that the aircraft is not located on the ocean floor where they were actually looking for the results of the pings. So the search remains a huge area. We're talking about 1.2 million square kilometres of area that we're trying to search. Obviously we're searching a priority area within that in the first instance, but it'll still remain significant for us to look for it. But I appreciate that we've had a number of steps throughout the process where we've thought we were close, and I think that will continue to be the case. I feel for obviously the next of kin and the families every time we think we might be close but don't actually deliver. Personally, I remain very optimistic. Cautiously optimistic, of course, because obviously the data that's available to the team of experts that have set the search area is the best that they have available to them. If we knew where the plane was, we'd have gone directly there. But using best efforts that we have, I believe that we're searching in the right area. However, I can't underestimate the size and scale of this search. It is, I'm not the only one to say unprecedented. It definitely is. I think we need to do our best efforts though in relation to finding the plane. We need to keep looking and exhaust the areas that we believe are most critical in that regard.